You're listening to the Launchcast, your favorite podcast on the planet, brought to you by Launchpad 516 Studios with me, your host, George Andriopoulos. We're talking leadership, business, life, and growth right now as the countdown starts.
It's like food for your ears.
At this time, I'm going to ask that you fasten your seatbelts.
Launch sequence.
Launch sequence activated.
Launch sequence activated.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo! Wait for it. This is an acoustic version. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Launchcast. Episode 314 for Auld Syne, a Tiny New Year's Soapbox Show. And we're bringing you The Black Hole by Tommy Lundberg, acoustic style. No bass, no drum line. Straight up melody. Oh, this is a good part, guys. This is a good part. Little piano for you. Here he comes. He's dropping it. Love it. What is happening, folks? We changed the intro around a little bit. It's a New Year's show. It's all right, Fabrizio. We can edit this in post. It's me. It's the LaunchDad himself, George Andriopoulos, bringing you your favorite podcast on the planet, the Launchcast, for the final time in 2021. And we're bringing the heat today on this soapbox show. I want to get reflective. Today because that's what the New Year's show is about. You know, man, I have so many thoughts right now. We talk about New Year's, right? And the number one thing that you hear out of people on New Year's Day and the days leading up to New Year's and the days subsequently after New Year's is all about their New Year's resolutions and what they want to change and yada, yada, yada. And that's okay. I just don't feel that we can change if we're not reflective and we don't look back at ourselves in the past year and what we've done and hold ourselves accountable and be responsible for, you know, not only our behavior in the past year, but our actions, the way we made other people act, the example that we set for other people as leaders, right? Let me get a quick drink of water here. This is take 4, so my voice is already hurting tonight. It is late, by the way. Well, it's not late. It's late in the studio. It's 9 o'clock, 9:09 in the studio right now, and I wanted to get this out there. And the office is buzzing now during the days. There's a ton of people here every day right now, so the only time I can get some quiet time for a recording and to be in my thoughts is the evening. So I like this. I like this little vibe that I have going right now. But yeah, back to it, New Year's. So what does it mean to be accountable? What does it mean to be reflective in a way that's productive and not to just beat yourself up for the mistakes that you made or even, you know, boast for the wins that you've had, the successes that you've had? Let me tell you something, man. Predominantly what I see on social media right now are people that are posting about how much 2021 sucked and what a horrible year it was. And it's the same stuff that I saw in 2020. And I get it, man. I get it. We had a rough year in my family. We had some loss due to COVID. Business suffered for a little while, at least, until things bounced back. Business suffered for a lot of my clients. It's been a tough time. It's been a super, super tough time in everybody's lives. But it's how you get back up on that horse that matters. I tell you right now that nobody gives a shit about your complaining and how bad your life has been during this time. And that's allowing you to hold space for the loss that you've had and the things that have gone wrong. I totally get it. But man, get up on the horse. Get back up on the horse and make it right for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stand these people behind keyboards that are just sitting and it's all woe is me. It's all who's going to make my life better. It's all blaming things on politics and people running the country. Fuck that, man. I know it's New Year's and I shouldn't be cursing, but fuck that. That's an excuse, man. I tell you something right now, right? We talk about leadership on this show. We talk about having faith. I'm not going to tell you where to place that faith. It could be faith in yourself. It could be faith in a higher power. It could be faith in source. It can be whatever that faith is. But have faith in yourself to build yourself back up. Don't put the onus on other people to fix your shit, because guess what? Yeah, man, shit went wrong. But nobody's going to dive in and fix your shit for you. And if they do, you should be embarrassed by that. You know? It's like, just stand up. Be the leader that you need to be in your own community, whether that means your family, your job, your company, whatever. Stand up. As my voice cracks, stand up. Be that leader. And make your own fate. Have faith that you can make your own fate. Take this last year or two as a lesson in that the plan doesn't always go as planned, right? Nobody ever planned for this shit. Nobody ever planned for a pandemic that would shut this country down, that would take the lives of our loved ones, that would ruin our businesses. Nobody planned for political turmoil that would turn this country upside down. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. For George, I'm speaking for George only right now. You tell me how you're going to stand up in this situation, in this conversation that we're having. But I'm speaking for George right now. And I know that George, when George gets backed up against the wall, George panics just like the rest of you. But George has faith in George and what George can do. I have faith in myself and what I can accomplish. And damn it, every goddamn time I pull that shit off, no matter how hard it is, no matter how scared I am, no matter how rough the seas are that day, no matter how many people are depending on me, 1 or 20 or 100, I don't care. I get that shit done because I have faith in myself to create my own fate. And that's the point of this thing. A lot of people complain about seeing those New Year's resolutions on social media and, oh, this is bullshit and blah, blah, blah. I see all like the usual gym rats are posting the memes about people that come to the gym on January 1st and they're done by January 10th. You know, like, okay, cool, man. You do you. I get it. But don't shit on somebody else's resolution. It's how they follow through on that resolution that means something to them. That should be of no consequence to you. Don't live a petty life. Don't be small and shit on other people's attempts at success, because that's only going to make them fail when they don't have the support of others. That's not what this is about. This is about, if you're going to make that resolution, I'm proud of you. Go make that resolution. But why are you making that resolution? Figure your shit out. Why are you making a resolution to change something when you don't fully understand why it is that you need to change it? You know that you need to change it, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be in the back of your mind. It wouldn't be in the resolution bin back there where you have this stuff kind of knocking around going, I know I need to fix that. I know I need to fix, but why do you need to fix that? That's the important question. Ask yourself why you need to fix the thing that you are resolving to fix in the new year. And then just do the fucking thing. Just do it. Dive in. It's a new year. It's a new beginning. It doesn't mean that we're wiping the slate clean, whatever, right? Like, there's no hidden meaning behind the new year. It's just another date, right? Just like, you know, the end of May leads to June 1st, or the end of February leads to March 1st, hey, same thing. The end of December leads to January 1st. The end of 2021 leads to the new year and the first day of 2022, right? And so we're talking about just semantics here in terms of what that date means. But for a lot of people, it does represent a new beginning. And if you can sort of draw that line in the sand and create that new beginning for yourself, create a boundary where you say, okay, I'm leaving all the old shit behind and jumping into my new thing come 2022, fuck yeah, go for it. Don't let anybody pull you down. But understand why you're doing it. I implore you. That's so important here. So important here. Now, being reflective, you know, we talked about how to be reflective in terms of your losses, I think, and the things that you need to change. But it's important to be reflective of the positive things too. The wins, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what I'm going to be changing in the new year. That's personal. That's just for me. You know, and I know there's a lot of stuff that I have to work on, and there's a lot of stuff that I have worked on that I think is going pretty well for me. And I'm excited to keep building on those things and to keep evolving. But if we don't look back at our wins too, our successes, in order to incorporate those into this evolution that you're creating of yourself for the new year, eventually it's gonna be a mishmash, and you're gonna have to start over because you're leaving behind good things that you should be taking with you, right? We all know the song "Auld Lang Syne." That's the New Year song. We always hear it playing every New Year when the ball drops and the whole thing. We hear that song. But what does that song mean? So "Auld Lang Syne," it's an old Scottish folk song from like the late 1790s. And the words in Scottish mean old long since. But they can be loosely interpreted into old times, especially times fondly remembered, or old or long friendships. And I think it's important when you look at a song like that to understand sort of what it represents for you in terms of a new beginning, honoring the things past that we've experienced, honoring the people along the journey that have helped us. I'm doing that right now. If you're watching this video, I'm doing it right now. It's about admitting that, you know, you've gone through a journey. It's about learning from that journey. It's about understanding that journey was so necessary for you and taught you so many things, and that good, bad, or indifferent, the people in your life that were a part of that journey played such a huge part in your evolution, in your growth. Old times, especially times fondly remembered. Fabrizio, you know what we have to do? We have to re-record that Launchpad 516 Studios commercial. That thing it's getting stale, buddy. It's getting stale. You need to keep up on it, all right? Yeah, all right. You can complain all you want, but you got to do something good. Got it?
I got it.
Okay. All right. Put on that Launchpad 516 Studio song. Let's get this thing going.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And listen, sit down. Don't say a word. All right? I'll take it from here.
Shut up.
Guys, it's me, George Andriopoulos, the LaunchDad himself, here to talk to you again about Launchpad 516 Studios, my baby. This podcast, this Launchcast thing, this office, this has afforded me the opportunities to do some really, really fun stuff. And now we are letting you get involved in that fun. Launchpad 516 Studios is our brand new podcast production company. So if you have an existing podcast or an idea for a podcast, get involved. Join our family like 15 other podcasts did in November. We have 10 or 15 more on the slate. We should have at least 25 podcasts on our roster by the end of December, and I am so excited. Let me throw some names out there. Discriminology, the Spreading Happiness podcast, Peace, Love, and Bring a Bat, the Launchcast, Over My Dad podcast, Sounds Like Autism, Embrace It, The Silver Lining, Chopping It Up with Chef Bynum, the LICAB podcast. I mean, we have a ton. Conversations with Kings is coming. I'm not even going to say anymore because some of these are so secretive you don't even know about them. What does it mean for us to produce your podcast? Well, it means if you're local, you get to use our beautiful facilities. If not, don't worry. We'll record remotely. Relax, guys. Now, we help you from inception to production, to post-production, to publishing, to monetization, the magic word. We will help you get sponsorships and to help you turn this hobby into a career. Who needs a real job when you could be a podcaster full-time? Contact me at Launchpad CEO on Instagram or Facebook, or email us at podcast@lp516.com for more info. Join the Launchpad 516 Studios family. Don't miss the boat. I'm telling you, Fabrizio, shut it down, all right?
I got it.
What I want to do here is I want to say a few things, and I want to actually make an announcement too for all of the fans of the Launchcast here. I think you guys will be so excited for this announcement, but I want to say that for me, 2021 was it was a really incredible experience. The first year of the pandemic, you know, and a lot of us don't like to say this because so many people had such a tough time, but I really embraced the first year of the pandemic and just spending time with my family, being away from the daily grind, right? Working from home. My wife worked from home. My kids were doing virtual school, and I cherish those moments. I'll cherish every single moment that I spent with my family during the pandemic, the entire pandemic. And then the birth of my daughter, Joanna, being able to be home for that, being able to experience the entire pregnancy with my wife at home, having her born in the hospital, coming home 2 days later, and getting to be there 24 hours a day for pretty much the first year plus of my daughter's life was so incredible. It's an experience that I can never get that back. I can never have that again, you know, unless we, this world completely goes to shit and we go into some kind of apocalypse and we're locked in a basement. But I'll never have that again. And so I appreciate that so much. And there's been tough times too. You know, I've talked about it on the show. We've had personal loss in my family due to COVID. My business suffered for a short time this year because my customers were suffering, and it's tough, man. You know, it wasn't all rosy, but I'll tell you an interesting story here. Is I had the opportunity, late summer, an opportunity arose to move on from my company. Let's put it that way. A huge opportunity arose to move on from my company. And I built this thing with my bare hands. With my blood, sweat, and tears, I built this company, and I am so proud. I'm standing in this office right now at almost 10 o'clock at night, and I am so proud just being here. I don't want to use the word basking, but just like feeling the energy of all the work that went into putting this place together. I'm not just talking about the physical office and the studio and all that. I'm talking about the clients, the work, the inspiration, everything that came with putting this business together. And I briefly had an opportunity to walk away from this all. And it was enticing, and I got to say, and I for a moment left this in the hands of fate. I didn't know with any certainty what the future was going to hold because of this pandemic. I didn't know how business would react long term to everything that was going on in the world, both, health-wise and politically. There was a lot of uncertainty. And so when this opportunity fell in my lap, which was an amazing opportunity, I decided to just kind of listen to the universe and go with the flow, not say no to anything, just kind of see what happens. And there were these signs for me that kept pointing to, no, this is where you belong, right where you are right now. This is where you belong. And I felt that I owed it to my family, like to be a responsible leader in my family. I owed it to my family to let this thing play out just to see what would happen. But I'm not getting into specifics, but certain things where I would take the necessary steps to sort of maybe downsize my operations, let's say, so that it would be easier to sort of sell this thing and button it up and move on to this big opportunity. Every time I tried that, there was pushback from whatever, from the universe, from maybe me subconsciously, whatever. There was pushback and it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't let me change this thing that I've built. And so, hearing back from this opportunity just took a while, and come end of August, beginning of September, I was like, you know what? I'm going to rebuild again. I'm going to grow this thing, to new levels. If this other opportunity comes by, let me deal with it then. But I'm committed to Launchpad. I'm committed to this company, committed to my vision that I had in 2013 when I started this thing. I'm committed to this vision, and I'm committed to seeing this through, because I owe it to myself and I owe it to the community to keep building this company. And so I did that. I jumped in head first, and I got back into this creative space, and I just rebuilt this company. It evolved in a way that it's never evolved before. And by the way, when I say rebuilt the company, there was nothing wrong with the company. It's just that there was this opportunity that came that fell in my lap. And, midst of pandemic, like obviously there are changes within an organization, and you have to sort of pivot, our favorite word during the pandemic. So it didn't look like it did 2 years ago, but it wasn't something that was deteriorating, for lack of a better word, right? It was just this opportunity was so big that I really had to look at it. And so I said, I'm going to build this back. I'm going to evolve this in a way that it's never evolved before. And man, I dove in and I got into this creative space that I've never been in before. And it was like insane how things were just happening and growing, and new clients and this and that. And before you know it, I find out that this opportunity, the timing was just wrong and it didn't happen. And I was so happy that it didn't happen, because I knew that there was still work to be done here. I knew that there was still work to be done here, and that I had not fully seen my vision through yet. And that if I continued on this path, we would do some amazing things here. And that's what's been happening since. And I will tell you right now, I am so excited to get the new year started, because for myself as a leader, I have so many plans for not only my company, but all of my new ventures that I talk about all the time in the show. I'm not going to get into them, but I am so excited to get into those and just continue to grow this thing and grow my mind and grow everything, just evolve, right? Continue to evolve. And it's new beginnings, like the new year, that set the standards for what I'm going to accomplish. It allows me to kind of look at the next 12 months and set goals, and look at the next new year for 2023, and to challenge myself to say, like, well, can this thing look totally different when 2023 hits, so that I can have a brand new set of goals at that point? It's a fun time. Right? It's not a time to say, thank God 2021 is over. It's a time to say, man, I can't wait to see what I'm going to do in 2022. You had a shit year in 2021? All right. Turn that shit around next year. It's in your hands, nobody else's hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the preacher here. Like, that's not my thing, but this shit gets me super annoyed when people just don't take the right attitude behind growing themselves and evolving as human beings. And I will take this opportunity to say that I couldn't be in this position, and I would not have learned all the things that I've learned had it not been for every single person in my life that has come my way. Friend, family, co-workers, mentors, whatever. You guys have all played such a pivotal role in me becoming who I am. And for the audience out there, I don't want this isn't a love letter to people that I used to know or still know, whatever. This is just, take this as an example. This is a guy that has learned some stuff along the way, has burnt some bridges and has mended a lot of fences in the interim, and is just trying to keep growing as a person. And those years of burning bridges years and years ago were scary, but when you kind of get to this point where you've achieved a level of success that really means something to you and that you could be proud of, it's kind of cool to acknowledge the people along the way that made that possible, rather than just being that naive person, ignorant person from back in the day that would just kind of shit on those people, because they all had a part in my success today, and I thank every one of them for it. Still in my life or not, man, I miss you all, and I thank you, and I thank you. So, before I close it out, we always look at what we can look forward to in 2022, right? And I'm sorry I've gone a little longer than the usual soapbox show. We're at 25 minutes now, but it's okay. Maybe we can cut this down in post. But we all look forward to something in the new year, whether it's something that we hope for or something that we know is coming. And we have at our house a little surprise coming in May 2022. Baby girl Andriopoulos is coming. My fourth little baby is on the way. We just started announcing this to friends and sent it out in our Christmas card. So some people may be listening to this episode when it comes out and may have just received our Christmas card the same day or the next day. So if you didn't get one, I'm sorry. But you know, this is your way of finding out. Baby girl A is on the way, May of 2022, and we are ecstatic in our house. All the kiddos are super psyched, and we are very scared to see how our baby Joanna deals with a new younger sibling, but pray for us, please. That's it, folks. That's it. So I'm going to say, before I end this thing, I'm going to wish you guys a happy, healthy, successful, peaceful, creative, game-changing, evolved new year in 2022. You have all been such a huge part of this thing that I'm building, and I know this is so cliche to say on New Year's Eve, but you ain't seen nothing yet, my friends. Wait till you see what's coming in 2022. I'm not going to do the usual outro with the black hole. We're going to do a very special version of Auld Lang Syne that I found on Epidemic Sound by Loving Caliber. Great version of the song. Happy New Year, folks. Love you. Later.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne. Into the black hole.
The Launchcast is brought to you by Launchpad 516 Studios, produced by Fabrizio Fugazi and executive produced by George Andriopoulos. Marketing and PR by Media Convergence. Theme song by Tommy Lungberg. Music and sound effects are licensed through Epidemic Sound. The Launchcast is hosted with Podbean. Make sure to subscribe to this feed wherever podcasts are available and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts while you're at it, guys. You can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Podbean, and everywhere else that podcasts are available. Follow me, George Andriopoulos, the host, at Launchpad CEO on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or follow the show at The Launchcast Show on Facebook and Instagram, or at Launchcast Show on Twitter. Visit our website, thelaunchcast.com, and make sure to follow all the great podcasts produced by Launchpad 516 Studios. We'll see you next time, guys.